I'd still be thinking about it. Because I'd have to read all the detail, I'd have to have all the facts. So know this, that they're very extroverted, but the weakness of an entertainer is they talk too much. That's why in sales, if you're an entertainer, you got to learn the process, which we call introduction, of asking those questions. Very enthusiastic. Another weakness of entertainers, follow through. I mean, usually you go into my office at home and I got stacks everywhere. If I was a detective, there'd be one sheet of paper on my desk. You'll learn when you walk into somebody's office, if their office is cluttered and they got stuff going on everywhere, they're probably an entertainer. If they've got a clean desk and there's one piece of paper, good indicator, they're probably a detective. So the whole environment is part of what you review. This is really important. Entertainers are motivated by affirmation. So if you want to build a relationship with me, if you want my business when I'm moving to Conyers, compliment me on my tie or my shoes or something. I mean, we're all about affirmation, recognition, who I know, who that you know. That's why LinkedIn's so important. If you went to my LinkedIn, I've got like 2,800 contacts. That's bizarre. But I guarantee out of 2,800 people, you find somebody I know that you know that lives in Atlanta that we have something in common. And there's no better way to get a conversation, build a rapport with me than talking about that, right? My biggest fear, and all entertainers' biggest fear, is rejection. You cut me down in front of a group, you try to critique me in front of one other person, and I'm toast. Entertainers' biggest fear is rejection. So that's why in sales, entertainers have to learn this. Because sometimes great salespeople that have great potential burn out just because they were entertainers and they couldn't deal with rejection. Once entertainers learn to see rejection as a good thing and how to put that positive affirmation there, then they just kill it. And that's part of the training that we do. Okay, the best closing technique, write down crystal ball. And with an entertainer, what you do is paint the picture. You say, Steve, let's say you're trying to close me on this order, and you're switching from Allstate to State Farm, and say, the thing I'd like for you to think about, I mean, you travel all over the world, you're a busy guy, and God forbid, one of those planes go down, but you're on every week. Working with State Farm and working with us, you can rest assured that your wife and your kids are going to be taken care of. You know the rest of the story. But you paint the picture of what could happen next week or in 10 years and why it's so important that I put all my investments, I put all my insurance, all my coverage with you and with State Farm. And you use the crystal ball close to get me there. I don't care about the facts and details. Don't show me the spreadsheets, the graphs that show my payback on the renewal. I don't care about that. But a detective would. All right, so let's move on. I've said the key word is fun. Voice quadrant, you see how I'm speaking now? It's how an entertainer speaks, loud and fast. You pick that up within 10 seconds on the phone once you really pay attention to this. So you'll know you got an entertainer just from the voice, loud and fast. Handshake, they've got a medium handshake, shake my hand. This is a typical, and I probably did it this morning when I shook Scott's hand. I got to do something with this other hand. See how I put it on top of her? Or I'm going to pat her on the back. And the key word is animated. Right down, they've got an animated handshake. We have to be doing something with our hands. I'm not just going to sit here. The counselors do this. They got their hands in their pockets. And you got to force them to pull the hand out, shake your hand, and then we'll put it back in the pocket. But when you learn body language and the techniques, this will help you verify you've got an entertainer. With appointments, I've said this before, use names. Okay, somebody you know that I know. I use Dan Combs and Trey Rhodes to get connected with Scott and then move forward. So use names as you're trying to connect with people. And with the agenda, make it fun. I mean, make it fun. And with an entertainer, you say, okay, Steve, you're coming into town for our first meeting. Can't wait to meet you. I've heard good things about you from Dan Combs. What would be fun for you? Where do you want to meet for lunch, or you want to meet at the office? So you use the key word fun. We use these keywords when we're communicating with the buying styles. And I said, you know what would be fun actually is, I'm just moving there, take me to the best restaurant in Conyers. But I don't know either. So make your experience fun, make the agenda fun. And then during the meeting, okay, when you go into their office, I've said this, it's going to be messy. Use bullet points in your presentation, not a lot of detail. You'll lose an entertainer with detail, trust me. Have high-level bullet points, and then try for breakfast or lunch. You'll be amazed. I'm going to say 8 out of 10 entertainers, before you've even met them, will start your first meeting at breakfast or lunch, if you'll ask them. It's just the way they think. They love that. They know they're going to get to know you. They're going to make another friend. So if you know you got an entertainer, go for breakfast or lunch. You just increased your odds of selling by about 50% in my opinion, versus just meeting them in the office. Okay, the closing is crystal ball close. Use names of people they know, you know, take a picture. I've already talked about that. Counselors. The key word in counselors, write this down, is team, T-E-A-M. Counselors are all